This video is about the alpha loved his guard, but a king could not love a soldier. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. ****, the alpha loved his guard, but a king could not love a soldier. ****. In the heart of the Everwood forest, where the moonlight carved silver paths through the trees, the Varen pack thrived, ruled by the formidable alpha, Ryan. His presence commanded respect, like the ancient oaks that stood tall in their domain. Ryan's midnight fur glimmered under the stars, a symbol of power and strength. Yet, nestled deep within his chest was a yearning that kindled like a flickering flame, a forbidden desire that could burn him alive. Guarding the outskirts of their territory was Alicia, a fierce soldier with a spirit as wild as the wolves she protected. Her zephyr shone like autumn leaves against the dark backdrop of the forest, and her emerald eyes caught the light of the moon, vibrant and alive. She was more than just a guard, she was the heartbeat of the pack, a warrior who stood unyielding against threats, but she was also a secret that Ryan kept hidden in the shadows of his heart. Alicia, Ryan called one evening, his voice breaking the silence of the darkened woods. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and pine. She turned, her ears perking up with a mix of anticipation and dread. "I need you to patrol the northern border tonight. We sense movement." "Of course, Alpha." Alicia felt a familiar pang of disappointment as she dipped her head, knowing this was all they could ever be, alpha and soldier, leader and protector. The unspoken bond between them crackled with tension, like a storm brewing on the horizon. "Oh wait." Ryan stepped forward, his gaze piercing into hers, igniting something primal within her. "You know I trust you more than anyone." Her heart raced. "I will do my duty, Ryan. It is my place." "Your place?" Ryan echoed, frustration lacing his voice. "You deserve to be more than just a soldier. You deserve it to be loyal, to follow orders," she interjected, her voice trembling. "Please, don't make this harder than it has to be." Ryan's fists clenched at his sides, the internal struggle evident in his eyes. The weight of his title pressed upon him like a boulder. "You think I don't feel it too? This connection between us, it's not just loyalty, Alicia, it has something deeper." "Deeper?" she whispered, stepping back as if the very notion burned her. "A king cannot love a soldier. Our destinies are not intertwined. You know that." Her words struck him like an arrow, sharp and piercing. Ryan's breath hitched, and for a moment, he stepped into the light, vulnerability spilling from his heart. "What if our destinies are meant to be intertwined?" Alicia looked away, tears stinging her eyes. "Then they are destined to break. You have to lead your pack, while I safeguard them. I am not your mate." He reached for her, fingers grazing her arm. "But what if—" "Stop," she cried, pulling away. "You know you cannot feel this way. That is against the pack's law, against the traditions we've upheld for centuries." Ryan's gaze hardened, Delph instinct clashing with the man he wanted to be. "Tradition or not, I cannot pretend this doesn't exist. I feel drawn to you, Alicia." "Don't," she said, her voice breaking. "Please don't make this harder. I want to be the source of your downfall." As she turned, Ryan felt the chasm growing between them, a rift carved by duty and fear. He watched her retreat into the shadows, the weight of his unvoiced love hanging heavily in the air. The moon bore witness to their agony, illuminating the path before them as if to say their fates were entwined even if they could not yet see it. Days turned into weeks, and the tension between them grew. Ryan buried himself in his duties, leading the pack with unwavering strength while Alicia remained steadfast at his side, her heart aching with every stolen glance. Forest whispered of their unfulfilled bond, a secret that echoed through the trees. One night, beneath a sky laden with stars, Alicia found herself wandering into the heart of the forest, seeking solace among the whispering pines. The moon hung low, casting a silver glow on the clearing, where shadows danced like memories of what could have been. She closed her eyes, inhaling the cool night air, allowing her wolf to surface its instincts fierce and restless. "Alicia," a voice broke through the tranquility, sending shivers down her spine. It was Ryan, emerging from the shadows, his form majestic and strong. "I have been searching for you." "What do you want, Alpha?" she asked, her heart racing, the moon illuminating the conflict within her soul. "I want you to understand," he said, stepping closer, his breath warm against the chill of the night. "This distance is tearing me apart. I can't pretend like there is nothing between us." Alicia felt a surge of heat rise within her, battling the icy grip of fear. "Ryan, we can The pack will understand if we make them understand," he argued, determination igniting his gaze. "You think I care what tradition says? You are my heart, my soul. Without you, I am incomplete." Your heart belongs to the pack, not to me, she whispered, tears glistening in her eyes. You need an alpha female, someone who fits the role. What if I don't want that? Ryan stepped closer, the magnetic pull between them stronger than ever. What if my heart chose you? Elijah's breath hitched. Brian, this isn't about choice, this is about duty, about survival. And what about love? His voice softened, desperation lacing his words. What about the bond that pulls us together, that makes us whole? She shook her head, the weight of rejection pressing down on them both. We can break the rules. If we do, the pack will fracture. Then I'll shatter the rules, Ryan proclaimed, passion igniting in his eyes. I would rather live a moment with you than an eternity without. Don't say that, she begged, stepping back. You don't mean it. You read the alpha. You'll be forced to marry someone for alliances, for strength. Ryan's jaw clenched, frustration bubbling beneath his skin. Those alliances don't matter if I don't have you. You don't see. Do you? My heart beats for you, Elijah. I can't let you go. Then you'll destroy everything, she replied, her voice breaking. I want to be the reason for your downfall. Together, we wouldn't fall, he said, desperation lacing each word. You re my mate, it's destiny. Elijah closed her eyes, savoring the intoxicating warmth of the moment. The air crackled with an energy that was almost tangible, the pull between them undeniable. The fear loomed larger than desire. Maybe destiny has different plans for us. Beth! Ryan shouted, frustration echoing through the clearing. You are my destiny. I can't lose you to this illusion of tradition. With that proclamation, he stepped forward, taking her hands in his, grounding her to the moment. Let me show you what we could be. Let me show you that love can conquer tradition. Tears streamed down Elijah's cheeks as she felt her heart flutter, torn between wanting to say yes and the weight of responsibility. I don't know if I can. Then let me carry you, he implored, his voice low and earnest, for as long as it takes. In that moment, under the blanket of stars and the watchful gaze of the moon, Elijah felt the walls around her heart begin to crumble. The intoxicating pull of their connection was too strong to resist, and for the first time she allowed herself to dream of a different path, a path not dictated by duty, but by love. Ryan, she whispered, hope mingling with fear. What if we fail? Then we will fail together, he vowed, his eyes burning with determination. And I would choose that over a lifetime without you. As the night deepened, the air thick with unspoken promises, two souls stood on the precipice of a future that shimmered like the stars above, uncertain, yet filled with the potential of love that could change everything. The whispers of the forest echoed their plight, a testament to a love that dared to defy the very fabric of their destiny. The forest was alive with whispers at night, but Elijah could hardly hear them above the thundering of her heart. Ryan's declaration hung in the air, suspended between hope and dread. The moon, a witness to their pain, glimmered like a silver dagger, reflecting her turmoil. Together, we wouldn't fall, Ryan had said, but the truth clawed at her insides. She feared the very notion that their love could defy the traditions that had kept their pack unified for centuries. Then we will fail together, he had vowed, but the question lingered. Could love truly overpower the weight of their responsibilities? Alicia? Her name slipped from Ryan's lips, grounding her back to the moment. I need you to trust me, this bond that is stronger than any law, it is our destiny. Destiny? She murmured, feeling the weight of the word as it settled between them. It feels more like a curse. Only if we let it be, he replied, brushing his fingers against her cheek, his touch igniting a fire within her. What if we dared to break free? What if we became the change our pack needs? She met his gaze, the intensity of his eyes captivating yet terrifying. Change brings chaos, Ryan. The pack thrives on tradition. What if they reject us? I'd rather face their wrath than deny my heart, he said, his voice steady yet filled with longing. We can lead them into a new era, a world where love stands above tradition. Elijah's resolve faltered. The clarity of his vision was intoxicating, but a fear deeper than her affection held her back. But I am just a god, Ryan. I am bound to protect, not to lead. You are so much more, he insisted, stepping closer, their breaths mingling in the cool night air. You are my mate, Elijah, the strength I need to face what is coming. What is coming? She asked, a shiver creeping up her spine. The pack is restless. The Northern Border Patrol reported sightings of rival wolves. Our territory is at risk. His voice lowered, filled with an urgency that enveloped them like a shroud. We need to unite, but I can do it without you. Elijah felt the weight of his words. The rival pack threatening their home could shatter everything. If we were caught, if the pack finds out about us, Then we'll face the consequences together, he promised, the fierce determination in his gaze igniting a flicker of hope within her. But I need you by my side. His eyes held an intensity that made her heart race. And for a moment she imagined a future where love triumphed over tradition. She let the thought linger, trembling on the edge of possibility. Just promise me, Ryan, she whispered. Promise me that we'll protect the pack, no matter what. I swear it, he vowed, brushing his lips against her forehead in a tender gesture that sent shivers coursing through her. We'll forge a path together. As the night wore on, Elijah felt the shadows of doubt recede, replaced by the warmth of Ryan's presence. But the flickering flame of hope was soon extinguished by a haunting reality. Days passed, and the tension in the air thickened, a storm breaching on the horizon. Whispers of rebellion echoed through the forest as rival wolves began to encroach on their territory. Elijah's heart raced with every report from the northern border, each encounter revealing the determination of their adversaries. Elijah, we must gather the pack, Ryan urged one evening as they met in a clearing. The time has come to show our strength. Her heart pounded, a mix of excitement and fear swelling within her. Are you sure they'll support us? They may not accept our bond. I'll make them understand, he declared, resolute. I'll be the alpha they need, but I need you to stand with me. And then we faced them together, she affirmed, feeling the fire of his confidence ignite her own. As the pack gathered, tension hung in the air, palpable and thick. Ryan stood tall, a commanding figure against the backdrop of the forest. Elijah stood beside him, her heart racing, filled with equal parts dread and determination. Back, Ryan began, his voice strong and steady. We stand on the precipice of a great challenge. Our territory is threatened, and we must unite to defend it. Murmurs rippled through the crowd, eyes filled with concern. Elijah felt the weight of their gazes, each one scrutinizing her presence at Ryan's side. And we must also acknowledge that change is upon us, he continued, locking his gaze with hers. I've found my mate in Elijah, a soldier who has devoted her life to protecting this pack. Gasps echoed in the gathering, shock rippling like a charged wave. Alpha, this cannot be, one wolf shouted, his voice trembling with anger. A soldier cannot become your mate, it goes against our laws. Elijah's heart sank at the vehemence of the reaction. She felt the eyes of the pack upon her, heavy with judgment. Ryan, this is a mistake, she whispered, fear creeping into her voice. No, it is not, he countered fiercely, determination igniting within him. I want to hide what we have. Love is not bound by status, it is a force that can unite us. Then you'll destroy the pack, the same wolf yelled, stepping forward. You'll weaken us in front of our enemies. Elijah felt her resolve shatter as the tension escalated, the whispers now morphing into shouts. Ryan, please, she pleaded, desperation clawing at her heart. We must think of our pack. Silence. Ryan's voice thundered, an alpha's roar that echoed through the trees. I will not allow fear to dictate our actions. Elijah is not just a god, she is my heart, my chosen mate. Together, we can lead this pack into a new era. But the crowd remained restless, uncertainty rippling through their ranks. Elijah felt the weight of the disapproval, an icy grip tightening around her heart. Ryan, I cannot be the cause of your downfall, she said, anguish splitting her voice. If they can't accept us, it will fracture our bond. Then we fight for acceptance, he declared, his eyes blazing with fervor. We want to let tradition dictate our fate. The bond we share is stronger than any law. But as the tension mounted, a shadow flickered at the edge of the clearing. Emerging from the darkness was KLM, the cunning bait of the rival pack, eyes glinting with mischief. Alpha Ryan, he drawled, stepping forward. You've stood quite the storm. I couldn't help but overhear your little speech. Elijah's heart sank further. KLM's arrival brought a fresh wave of dread. What do you want, KLM? Ryan said, his voice low and guarded. A simple proposition, he smirked, eyes dancing with malice. Join us, and you can keep your precious guard. Resist, and I will claim what is mine. Elijah felt the chill run down her spine, fear and anger battering her heart. You think you can scare us into submission? She snarled, stepping forward, her wolf ready to emerge. I don't need to scare you, KLM replied, his tone smooth. I only need to remind you of what happens when an alpha is out of balance. Your pack will turn against you, Ryan. You can protect her if you lose their support. Enough. Ryan roared, clenching his fists. I will not bow to threats, KLM. I will protect my pack, and I will protect Elijah. Then prepare for war, KLM sneered, retreating into the shadows, leaving a heavy silence in his wake. A wave of fear washed over Elijah as she turned to Ryan, her heart racing. What now? She whispered, the weight of uncertainty looming above them. We prepare, he said, determination returning to his voice. We will not let fear separate us. I will fight for you, Elijah, for us. As they stood together, the world around them pulsed with looming danger, and in that moment, Elijah could feel the looming storm of destiny drawing closer. Love, woven in the fabric of their bond, would either save them or tear them apart if only they could survive the darkness ahead. Whatever comes, we will face it together, she vowed, her heart filling with renewed strength. Ryan nodded, his gaze fierce and unwavering, and as they prepared to face the unknown, the moon hung high above, a reminder that their love, though forbidden, was woven into the very stars, an indelible mark of their entwined fate. As dawn broke over the everwood forest, the air was thick with tension and anticipation. Elijah stood at the edge of the pack's territory, her heart racing as she watched the sun's first rays gild the treetops. A storm brewed on the horizon, both in the world around them and within her soul. Elijah, Ryan's voice cut through her reverie, a deep timbre that echoed the weight of their shared burden. It is time. I know, she replied quietly, turning to face him. The Alpha stood tall, his midnight fur glistening in the early light, a fierce protector ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. But behind his unwavering facade, she could sense the turmoil roiling within him. Are you ready? Ready as I can be, Ryan said, though the doubt flickered in his eyes. The pack is still divided, I can feel it. If we read to confront Caleb, we need them united. We need them to understand. Elijah stepped closer, grounding herself in the warmth of his presence. They will see the truth. Your heart is strong. They'll feel your resolve. Will they see you as my mate? Ryan's gaze bore into hers, and for a fleeting moment, the world fell away. The bond we share is deeper than any tradition, but they may not accept our love. Acceptance isn't guaranteed, but we have to try, she said, determination surging through her. We can hide from who we are meant to be. Ryan nodded, though a shadow of uncertainty lingered in his eyes. You were right, but remember, Elijah, whatever happens today, I will always protect you. I won't let fear dictate our fate. As they moved deeper into the pack's territory, the air crackled with unspoken tension. The rest of the pack had gathered in the clearing, their expressions a mixture of apprehension and curiosity. Elijah felt the weight of their gazes upon her, each one scrutinizing their alpha's choice. Pack, Ryan's voice boomed, pulling their attention. Today we face a threat from Caleb and his rogue wolves. We must unite to protect our territory, but I need you to understand something essential. Elijah is my mate. Gasps rippled through the crowd, eyes wide with shock. Elijah felt her heart sink, dread pulling in her stomach. She had anticipated some resistance, but the sudden outcry caught her off guard. Alpha, one wolf stepped forward, a seasoned warrior with silver streaks in his fur. This is madness. A soldier cannot take the Alpha's place. It goes against our very nature. Tradition is what has kept us bound for too long. Ryan countered, his voice rising above the murmurs. Love is more powerful than tradition. Elijah has been by my side, protecting this pack. She is not just a soldier, she is my heart. Your heart, scoffed another wolf, anger flickering in his eyes. You would risk everything for a guard. Think of our future. What will the other pack say? What if they see your weakness? Elijah's stomach churned as she listened to the objections, each word like a dagger. You are not weak, Ryan, she whispered, stepping closer to him. But I can be the cause of a fracture in the pack. If they can accept us, then I'll make them accept us. Ryan's voice thundered, filled with conviction. Together, Elijah and I will lead this pack into a new era. But the murmurs only grew louder, doubt festering like a wound. Elijah could feel the atmosphere shift, the pack's unity wobbling on the brink of collapse. What if they reject us? She whispered, fear knotting her insides. Then we'll face it together, Ryan promised, his gaze fierce. I refuse to hide the truth of our bond. We will fight for our love, no matter what. As if summoned by fate, the shadows deepened, and a figure emerged from the tree line. Caleb stepped forward, a confident smirk plastered across his face. Such passion, Ryan, but passion doesn't protect you from an impending war. Elijah felt her heart drop as Caleb's eyes roamed over the assembled pack, a predator sizing up its prey. You withstood the pot, my friend. You think your bond will shield you. The pack is already divided. Your time as Alpha is running thin. Stay away from my pack. Ryan growled, stepping protectively in front of Elijah, the tension palpable between the two wolves. Caleb chuckled darkly, his voice smooth as silk. I don't want your precious pack, Ryan. I want you to fail. I want to see you brought to your knees. You'll lose everything, your title, your place, and your lover. Elijah felt a cold sweat break out on her skin. We won't be intimidated by your threats, Caleb, she spat, anger igniting within her. We stand united. Do you? Caleb raised an eyebrow, his grin widening. You stand divided. Just look at your pack. They are but whispers of dissent, ready to turn against you at a moment's notice. Ryan's shoulders squared, and Elijah could see the determination solidifying in him. I will not allow fear to dictate our actions, Caleb. We will stand together as one. Then let us see how far that unity gets you, Caleb taunted, stepping back into the shadows. Prepare for war, Alpha. I'll be watching. As the rival pack retreated, a heavy silence fell over the clearing. Doubts lingered like a spectre, and Elijah could feel the temperature of the pack's fever shift. Tension and uncertainty hung in the air like a storm about to break. Ryan, Elijah whispered, her heart aching at the vulnerability in his eyes. What if we truly fail? What if they turn against us? He softened, reaching for her hand, intertwining their fingers. We will not fail, Elijah. I believe in us. I believe in our bond. We will show them that love can conquer all. But as they prepared to rally their forces, Elijah couldn't shake the gnawing fear that clawed at her heart. She needed to know their love was worth the risk, that it could withstand the storm that was to come. Days bled into one another, the tension mounting as the rival pack drew closer. Elijah and Ryan worked tirelessly to fortify their defenses, rallying the loyal members of their pack while trying to quell the growing dissent among others. One evening, as they stood together overlooking the forest, Elijah turned to Ryan, her heart heavy with uncertainty. Are we strong enough for this? She asked softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Together, we are more than strong enough, Ryan replied, his eyes reflecting the fierce light of determination. We will show them the power of love, Elijah. We cannot back down now. But as the hours slipped away, the impending confrontation began to take shape. Caleb's pack was methodically encroaching, their presence a constant reminder of the threat looming over them. Tonight, we stand united, Ryan declared as the pack gathered under the rising moon, its silver light casting an ethereal glow upon them. No matter what happens, we fight for our territory, for our home, for our love. As they prepared for the battle ahead, Elijah felt the weight of the moment pressing down on her. She stepped forward, her voice strong. We fight not just for our territory, but for each other. We stand as one, united against those who seek to tear us apart. The pack roared in response, their voices intertwining, a symphony of strength and solidarity. Elijah felt the fire of hope ignite within her. Together, they would face whatever came their way. The night was alive with tension as they moved into position. Elijah stood side by side with Ryan, her heart thrumming in rhythm with his. Whatever happens, I am with you, she whispered, her eyes locked onto his. I know it, he replied, his gaze fierce and unwavering. We were destined for this, Elijah. Let us show them what it means to fight for love. The first howl broke through the night, a chilling sound that echoed like a death knell. The rival pack descended upon them with ferocity, their eyes glimmering with malice. Elijah felt adrenaline surge through her veins as she prepared for the onslaught, her instincts sharpening. As the battle erupted, chaos reigned. The air was filled with growls, snarls, and the sounds of claws against earth. Elijah fought valiantly, her heart racing as she defended their territory alongside Ryan, their bond stronger than any fear. But in the midst of the chaos, Elijah felt a sudden jolt of panic. Caleb had slipped through, targeting Ryan with a predatory glimmer in his eyes. Your heart is your damn fault, Ryan, he taunted. Nothing. The battle raged on beneath the moonlit sky, shadows intertwining with the fierce growls and cries echoing through the everwood forest. Elijah fought with every ounce of strength coursing through her veins, her instinct sharpened in the throes of chaos. The scent of pine mixed with the metallic tang of blood hung heavy in the air, a grim reminder of the stakes they faced. Ryan! Elijah shouted, her voice strained as she caught sight of him. He was locked in a fierce struggle with Caleb, their forms a whirlwind of fur and muscle. The rival Beta's eyes glinted with malice, each swipe of his claws striking at Ryan's determination. Elijah's heart raced, panic clawing at her chest. She couldn't bear the thought of losing him. Stay focused. Ryan barked, his voice resonating with command even amid the tumult. We need to hold the line. Elijah's eyes flickered to the pack, their unity faltering as doubt seeped in through the cracks. The rival wolves were relentless, pushing forward like a tide threatening to swallow them whole. The embers of dissent sparked among their ranks, whispers of uncertainty swirling through the pack like dark clouds. Together! Elijah shouted, rallying herself and the warriors around her. We fight for our home, for our future, for love. But even as the words left her lips, doubt gnawed at her heart. Could love truly overcome the weight of tradition? The memories of whispers and dissent among the pack haunted her. A sharp howl pierced the air, and Alicia's instincts snapped back to the present. She launched herself into the fray, dodging and weaving, her movements a dance of primal grace. The adrenaline coursing through her veins sharpened her senses, allowing her to anticipate every move, every threat. But Calum was cunning, and as she fought her way toward Ryan, she felt the tide of the battle shift. Calum, fueled by a dark ambition, had cunningly positioned himself to draw Ryan away from the pack. Alicia watched in horror as Calum struck with precision, aiming to fracture Ryan's resolve. "Your heart will be your undoing, Ryan." Calum sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. "You think love can shield you from the truth, you real fool? Watch your tongue." Ryan growled, his power radiating like a storm. "I will protect my pack and my mate with everything I have. You will not take what is mine." Alicia felt her heart race at Ryan's declaration, but the fear of losing him to Calum's malice was overpowering. She surged forward, an instinctual need to protect the ones she loved rising within her. "Ryan, I am here." With a fierce growl, she leapt towards Calum, who was momentarily distracted by Ryan's defiance. Alicia's heart surged with determination. She would not let fear dictate their fate. Combining her strength with Ryan's, they could push back against the darkness that threatened to consume them. But Calum was quicker, and with a swift movement, he sidestepped Alicia, his eyes full of dark amusement. "You think you can save him?" he mocked, lunging at Ryan with deadly intent. "Alicia, no." Ryan shouted, his voice laced with panic. Her blood ran cold as she witnessed Calum's claws aiming for Ryan's vulnerable side. "Ryan, look out." Time slowed as she barreled into the fray, instincts igniting her every movement. Alicia collided with Calum, knocking him off balance just before he could strike. The force of her impact sent them both tumbling to the ground, and in that moment, Alicia's will narrowed down to one singular focus, protecting Ryan. "Get away from him," she snarled, grappling with Calum. He grinned wickedly, his eyes dancing with malice. "You think you can save him? This is a game you cannot win, little guard." With a fierce snarl, Alicia used her weight to push him back, her body fueled by the fierce love she felt for Ryan. She could feel her instincts guiding her. This was not just a battle for survival, but for the very essence of their bond. "Alicia," Ryan called, his voice a beacon in the storm. "Stay safe. Stay with me," she cried, feeling the intensity of the moment swell around them. But as Alicia pushed against Calum, she felt a sudden sharp pain slice through her side. A trickle of warmth signaled the wound, and she gasped, a wave of weakness crashing over her. "Death?" The world around her spun, the realization of vulnerability piercing through the adrenaline-soaked haze. But as she faltered, Ryan's fierce howl echoed through the chaos, igniting a fire within her soul. "Alicia," he roared, his voice filled with raw fury. With newfound strength, Ryan surged forward, his form a blur of power and determination. Alicia could feel the heat radiating from him, a fierce protector willing to wage war for love. Get away from her. Ryan launched himself at Calum with a ferocity that sent shockwaves through the clearing. The two wolves clashed, their forms a tempest of fur and fangs, the air quaking under the weight of their struggle. "Ryan, be careful." Alicia cried, her heart pounding as she fought to rise, the world around her a blurred chaos of sounds and colors. "Alicia." Ryan's voice reached her through the haze, his resolve unwavering despite the odds stacked against them. "You are stronger than this, fate." With that call, Alicia felt a surge of warmth within her, a reminder of the bond they shared. The mystical connection between them pulsed like a living thing, igniting her wounded spirit. She pushed through the pain, forcing herself to rise, to fight for their love, for their future. Together, she shouted, her voice a rallying cry that cut through the din of battle. "We are stronger together." The tide began to shift as she joined Ryan, their movements synchronized like two halves of a whole. Alicia fought alongside him, their bond amplifying their strength against the encroaching darkness. The pack rallied around them, the whispers of doubt fading as they witnessed the unwavering love and determination of their alpha and his mate. But the battle was far from over. Calum, now realizing the strength they possessed together, fought with desperate fury. "You think this will change anything?" he snarled, desperation lacing his tone. "You will never be accepted. You are a soldier, and soldiers do not lead." Alicia stepped forward, her defiance burning bright. "Love transcends your hatred. Calum, you can't extinguish what we've rebuilt together." With a fierce growl, Ryan lunged, grappling with Calum in a clash of power. Alicia joined him, her heart racing as they fought in tandem, their movements a perfect symphony of strength and resolve. But Calum was relentless, his eyes narrowing with a predatory glint. "You think you can stand against me? Your love is a weakness, a curse that will be our undoing. Not if we stand united." Ryan roared, pushing through the pain and fear. Elijah felt the energy of their bond surge, a mystical force that entwined their fates. She channeled that energy into her movements, a fierce determination to protect the love they had forged against all odds. With a swift maneuver, she struck at Caleb, the adrenaline fueling her strength. The moment was electric, the power of their bond radiating through her as she fought for the love that had become her lifeline. "Together, Ryan," she cried, her voice steady and filled with conviction. With a final surge of strength, they lunged at Caleb, a whirlwind of fury and passion. The force of their bond propelled them forward, and in that moment, Elijah felt the universe surrounding them, rooting for their love. The impact was a thunderous crash, and as they collided with Caleb, the air burst with energy, a brilliant flash of light enveloping them. The bond they shared ignited in a blaze of power, illuminating the night with a promise of destiny fulfilled. As the dust settled, the clearing fell silent. Elijah and Ryan stood together, hearts pounding, breathless as they gazed at the retreating figure of Caleb, defeated and vanquished. The rival wolves, witnessing the power of their bond, began to retreat, the shadows of dissent fading like mist in the dawn. "Elijah," Ryan breathed, pulling her close, their bodies trembling with the remnants of the battle. "We did it together." Tears of relief streamed down her cheeks, her heart swelling with love and gratitude. "We fought for our love, Ryan. We showed them what we can be." He cupped her face, his gaze piercing and filled with raw emotion. "You are my mate, my heart. Together, we will redefine what